Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. This is your very own educator, Sukriti Joshi ma'am, and let's this is the right platform. This is the platform wherein we can learn together and wherein we can grow together, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. So you might be wondering, what am I going to do in today's session? So in today's session, I would be basically covering Vistas, and I would be covering the very first lesson, which is the third level, right? So it's the first chapter, but it's titled as the third level. Now you can imagine what could it mean, right? Now try to imagine, try to decipher from the title, like the third level. So that means there are three levels, right? One, two, three. You can understand this much, right? Now you need to go into depth in order to understand this lesson, right? So for that, let's get started and I'll just share. Wait, give me a moment. Uh, yeah, I'll just share my window, this thing. Okay, wait, visit, yeah. All right, yeah. I hope it's visible now. Wait, yep. Mm, sure. Yeah. So now, I'll be basically, as I have mentioned before, that this is the first chapter, right? So, this is the first chapter, right? And yeah, this is the third level of vistas, right? So this comes under vistas, right? So the book is vistas, right? And this is the first chapter, the third level. And it's written by whom? It's written by Jack Finney, right? It's written by Jack Finney. It's written by Jack Finney. Clear? You should be able to answer who has written what. And you should be able to, pick and pinpoint to the fact that from where has a particular chapter been taken. For example, if I talk about the Tiger King, from which chapter, from which book it has been taken, or for example, if I talk about Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, from which book it has been taken. So you should be able to, tell that from which book and which number. You should even remember the name and the writer, obviously, but you should remember the pattern, the sequence, or the order in which they come, right? So the third level is the first chapter of Vistas. Now, this is before you read, right? So this is basically a kind of a pre-reading exercise, right? That's what we can say, right? Uh, is it visible? Okay, yeah. So, uh, am I visible? doesn't matter even if I'm not visible. Yep. So before you read, have you ever had any curious experience with which others find hard to believe? So it might have happened with you. It sort of happens with most of the people. For example, you might think that you are capable and you are having a lot of capability and ability to score very well and to get good score, right? But your parents or your relatives or somehow your friends don't believe in that, right? So that you will clear or you will pass or you will secure 99 or 98 percentage in your boards. So that's kind of a curious experience which others find hard to believe. So it's a kind, that's a sort of example that I'm just citing over here. And you can come up with your own set of examples that you find it, that you find in your life that have taken place, that have shaped your life in in a way that it is right now, right? So now we will start off with the chapter, right? Let's move on with the chapter now. All right. So the presidents of the New York Central. So you need to ponder over this question. All right. So before you read, this is a pre-reading activity, and this is a thought-provoking question, and you need to answer. You need to respond according to your needs, according to what you have been through in life, what situations have you passed, through. So you need to mention that, right? Then we'll start off with the presidents of the New York Central and New York, New Haven, and Hartford railroads will swear on a stack of timetables that there are only two. But I say there are three because I have been on the third level of the Grand Central Station. Yes, I've taken the obvious step. I talked to a psychiatrist friend of mine, among others. I told him about the third level at Grand Central Station, and he said it was a waking dream wish fulfillment. He said I was unhappy. That made my wife kind of mad. But he explained that he meant the modern world is full of insecurity, fear, war, worry, and all the rest of it. And that I want to escape, right? Well, who doesn't? Everybody I know wants to escape, but they don't wander down into any third level at the Grand Central Station. Now, I would explain you what does it mean. Now, basically, we are talking about the presidents of the New York Central and the New York or New Haven and Hartford railroads. And everybody is aware about the fact that there are two levels. All right, this you might have deciphered, or you might have understood from the given statement. But I say there are three. So here the change is happening. Here the change is taking place. So people are saying that there are only two, but what is different uh uh in him is the fact that he's saying that there are three levels, right? Because I have been on the third level, because according to him, according to the person who is talking about all of this, he has been to the third level at the Grand Central Station, right? Wherein other people, all the people all around him, they have only seen two levels of the Grand Central Station, but we wonder that how can and even we will see in the coming paragraphs that have um if I talk about Sam, the psychiatrist, he will talk about Sam is the name of the psychiatrist, right? As it is being mentioned over here. Psychiatrist friend of mine, Sam. So he actually tells him that basically he is trying to evade, he's trying to escape, he's trying to neglect the reality of life. Why? Because he said it was a waking, dream push, waking dream wish fulfillment, right? So according to him, it seemed to him as if it was a waking dream wish fulfillment, that uh, he was willing to have this sort of a life, or what he had seen, because maybe he was unhappy, maybe he was not happy with his life, the way he was living, right? So maybe he was unhappy, right? That made my wife kind of mad, and obviously because Sam, his friend, is suggesting and saying that he was unhappy in his life, so obviously the wife would obviously be unhappy too, because of the fact that she was wondering that he's married to me, and how can he be unhappy when he's married to me, right? So but and obviously a wife would also get mad at him, because if he was feeling miserable, there was no misery in their marriage. But he explained that what he meant, but he explained that what he actually who he over here refers to the psychiatrist, that what he actually meant was that the modern world is full of insecurity, fear, war, worry, and all the rest of it. So then he explained, and he continued going, he continued with his talk. He kept on going, and he said that he meant that the modern world is full of insecurity, it's full of fear, it's full of doubt, it's full of war, it's full of worry, and all the rest of it, right? So people are insecure about each other, about their it can be, you can see right now also nowadays, we are living in 21st century, and we are living in modern times, we are living in the modern epoch, or the modern era, so to say, right? So we are facing the problem of insecurity, we are facing the problem of fear, we all tend to have fear of some sort or the other, right? We all tend to have insecurities in us, we all tend to have nowadays it's so prevalent, war between Ukraine, Russia, war between India and Pakistan, and all the rest of it, it's just a part of it. So he might be disappointed or disillusioned with the reality. So it might just be a wish, waking dream wish fulfillment. And I just want to, and he's Sam, who is the psychiatrist, is just suggesting the fact that he wanted to escape, and that could have been a way of escaping from the reality. Now, well, who doesn't? Everybody I know now. Well, who doesn't? Who says this? This statement is said by the person who is actually narrating the events, that who said that he has been to the third level, right? So, well, who doesn't? Everybody I know wants to escape, but they don't, basically they don't go down into any third level, they don't visit any third level, right? Do they? So now he's suggesting the fact that who doesn't, who everybody is facing the same sort of scenario. And I know, uh, I know, everybody I know wants to escape, and everybody he knew they wanted to escape too, right? But they have never ever transcended, or they have never ever traveled to the third level or seen the third level at Grand Central Station. But that's the reason, he said, and my friends all agreed. But now we are coming, all right, I'll read the entire thing. But that's the reason, he said, and my friends all agreed. Everything points to it. They claimed my stamp collecting, for example, that's a temporary refuge from reality. Well, maybe, but my grandfather didn't need any refuge from reality. Things were pretty nice and peaceful in his day, from all I hear. And he started my collection. It's a nice collection too. Blocks of four of practically, all right, of practically, where did it go? Just ev- um, e- uh, wait. Okay, wait. Did it go? Why is this thing not going down? Give me a second. Yeah. So, yeah, for of practically every US issue, first day covers, and so on. President Roosevelt collected stamps too, you know. So now herein what we are talking about is that, but that's the reason, he said, and all my friends have all agreed, you know. Everything points to it, they claimed. My stamp. Now they're stating that they're stating the fact that he used to who he the person who is actually narrating that he has been to the third level, right? So my stamp collecting, for example, that's a temporary refuge for from reality. So it acts as a kind of a refuge from reality, right? So now even Sam is, stating the fact and, telling him time and again that, this is, see, we all tend to have hobbies, right? You might be having hobbies, I might be having hobbies. Why are hobbies important? In order to escape from the harsh realities, or in order to escape from the modern day worries or anxieties. And if I talk about today's era, today's 21st century, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of depression that the students are facing, that the adults are facing, that the elderly people are going through, right? So why earlier it wasn't the case? Earlier the scenario was not prevalent. So my stamp collecting, so he also had a passion, he also had an interest, that was stamp collecting, right? That was collecting stamps. So during ancient times, during long ago, what used to happen is, see, nowadays we have WhatsApp and we have Telegram, right? um, I don't make use of Telegram much, but it's an Indian app, I guess. I don't know much about Telegram, but WhatsApp is there. So we can message each other through either messaging or, WhatsApp. We can make use of. But in ancient times, cell phones were very, costly, or they were very expensive, or they were not even there, of to certain portion of population. They were so most of the people could not afford cell phones, right? So stamp collecting was a hobby. So basically, then letters used to be there in envelopes. And in when you are, writing down the letter, and you are just, sometimes you had the day cover also, right? So we are talking about that day cover, right? The first day cover, right? So stamp collecting, stamp used to be put, right? For example, that's a, so it used to act as a kind of a temporary refuge from reality. Well, maybe, but so according to him, that it might be, but what about my grandfather then? Because in his era, in his epoch, uh, he, why would he try to take refuge from reality? Because the reality was cool, according to modern people, what we may call it. It was cool out there, right? The reality was cool. So the reality, don't use that word cool, I'm just saying it so that you can understand. So the reality was quite different, the reality was, in fact, everybody was living in harmony. There were massive houses, and everything was well arranged and well organized in those days. Everybody was very happy and living in an elated manner. Everybody was living in harmony. So yeah. So well, maybe, but my grandfather didn't need any refuge from reality. Things were pretty nice. So things were obviously pretty nice. That's what I've spoken about, right? Whatever I'm highlighting, please highlight all those things, because they are very, very important for you to understand. Um, and peaceful in his day. So when he used to be, when he was alive, things were very peaceful too. They were serene too, right? From all I hear, and he started my collection. Uh, it's a nice collection too. Blocks of four of practically every US issue. First date covers, right? And so on. President Roosevelt collected stamps too, and now he's telling us the fact. What is the fact? Now, who is President Roosevelt? Do the research and do let me know in the comment section below. But first and foremost, I will let you know that Roosevelt, when we are talking about Roosevelt, first and foremost, you need to remember that he was the president of US. Obviously, because we are talking about US issue. So he was the president of US. But you still need to comment in the comment section below. Clear, everyone? I hope it is clear and it is making sense. All right. All right. So this is it for now. And we'll be covering, we'll be moving forward. How much is left? All right, so this is left. So we'll be covering this, and then we will be doing the question and answer, the themes and all, right? So yeah, this is it from my side. This is Sukriti Joshi signing off. Sukriti Joshi ma'am signing off. Till then, let's all keep learning. Let's all keep growing, right? And let's all keep enjoying. Um, bye bye. Let's all keep learning. Let's all keep enjoying. Let's all keep connected. Let's all keep uh, ourselves connected to this platform wherein we can, meet with each other and we can grow with each other, right?